about the other promoters? When you were sending them stuff, what was the kind of feedback that you got?
So the kind of feedback we've got is that in terms of production, I think it's very hard for anyone to touch us now.
You know, whenever I sit on the same space with a lady who's as passionate, who wakes up at the same time, if not earlier, I get so excited. There's nothing called a Sunday in her life. There's nothing called a Monday in her life. There's nothing called, you know, something away from work, even though she might be doing other things. Every single story on her Instagram platform is about the entire work that she's doing, because spreading the message and spreading the love with it is always perfect. Ayesha ma'am, thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you, Salil.
It's true. This is, you live this, you breathe this as a promoter. We're coming off one of the most successful MFNs. I mean, let's just put it, arguably the most successful.
The most.
Can you still, now, are you still buzzing every day with it? Because you haven't really taken time off.
No, precisely. There is no time to relish the buzz. We're already on to MFN 13 for the planning. So there's been no time, but nothing to complain about. Just a few little things which Krishna and I have been discussing, which are just like tweaks that we want to bring in. But otherwise, MFN 12 was a wonderful experience all round.
I asked Krishna this, did you think that, you know, when everything was there on your head and you were like pretty much Atlas, did you think that this would be able to sort of manifest exactly as you thought? Or were you never worried?
No, 100%, because I think she's also spoken to you about this. The thing is that we kind of got into everything, every single detail. The two of us were involved from day one of MFN 12. So when you're aware of things, you know where you're falling short, where you're doing great. As long as you're in control of things, there's no space for nervousness to come in, so to speak.
Do you regret not being in control a lot earlier?
1000%. That's my big regret. Yeah.
Would you have done things very differently? Like, say, if you go back in MFN 9, 10 and 8, like, was there ever a time when you thought completely differently of what should have happened and then completely something has happened? Not the fights, just generally.
No, generally the way the event was conducted, I never had a problem with production because it's something that I was very much involved with. Even the fight card, I didn't have a problem with that either, because that was something, again, where Krishna was also involved right from the beginning. But everything else, the rules, the running of fight week, the quality of the officials, all of that stuff was where I felt we were falling short. And in the beginning, when I didn't know much about it, I kept my mouth zipped. But as I learned along the way, and I observe, and I do some research of my own, I realized where we were not, let me say, we were not to our optimum. And that was annoying me very, very greatly. And until one day when I felt secure enough and confident enough to say, this is just not the way it's going to happen. This is how it needs to happen. You're in or you're out. And that's when things started splitting apart, and when you know, the reality and the truth of a lot of things started coming out.
You know, so many people will always say that one of the big discussions we had was where you said that official status does not exist for MMA in this country. And a lot of associations had that official, they said that they had official status. Do you think now that after MFN 12, there's like a more streamlined way that other officials also will be part of this? And moving forward, there will actually be a setup which will be one official setup. Many promotions maybe, but then you can have that traveling. So like a blueprint of what shouldn't happen has already been set and might be followed by a lot of other promotions as well. Do you think that's going to happen in the coming few months?
Well,
or there's no unity?
No, it's not about unity. It's about what serves the sport the best. And what was happening earlier is there were ad hoc rules being added, changed, removed, which is causing a lot of confusion even with the current group of officials.
So just to clarify, they were different from the existing supposedly understood...
The unified rules.
Which is what UFC is?
Which all the promotions globally follow.
So we were different?
We were trying to be different. Right. And please keep Krishna and myself out of the we, okay?
Yes.
Because we always had a vision of the way things had to be done.
Right.
But there was a group of people who were trying to show that they were, greater than what was the current accepted norm, and which was causing a lot of confusion with fighters, coaches, cornermen, everything, Right. And so we did away with all of that. Yeah. And we brought the unified rules back. Yeah. There's a reason for those rules being in place.
True.
They do get tweaked along the way, along years, but then it's followed by all MMA promotions globally, right?
Correct.
And there's a lot of study that goes into it, and it's something that makes the game safer and more clear, for everybody concerned. So we brought those unified rules back in, and we handpicked over the past MFN shows that we've had, and we've been observing the workings of certain officials and how dedicated they are, and how they also were feeling a little brushed aside.
Left out totally, yes.
Lack of respect to what they bring to the table as well. And from that group that we have been looking at for so long, Krishna and I literally handpicked the ones that we felt were the best suited to MFN and to being able to bring this honesty and this transparency.
Yeah, that's the key word, transparency.
Transparency, exactly.
Which it was a wall, you know, and that wall had a lot of walls around you, which has all been broken.
Yeah.
The biggest compliment that you got, and I know that you got a lot, and it's not just about the promotion and how it looked. We all know it looked great, but the biggest compliment that you received, who would that be, and after all this entire bit happened?
The biggest compliment that both my daughter and I got were actually from the men in our lives. Yeah. My husband and my son, they literally, we got messages from them instantly saying, my son said, "Mom, you killed it with MFN 12."
He was there.
He was there. Yeah. He had to leave a little earlier, that, but he was there. And when I spoke to my husband, I said, "So what is your feedback on this?" Because he always had a feedback for us after every show.
That was the critique.
It was always a critique, yeah. I mean, good and bad both, but mostly it used to be bad. But this time he said, "Bhole, you guys nailed it this time." And he was like so happy. He said, "Now what? Now don't just chill and be, we've done it. Now you have to prove it, So I was like, wow, that's great. That's great.
I think that's the most important thing, because you put blood, sweat and tears into making this reach somewhere, and you're literally waiting, and family members are always the closest and who are impartial, as he has been and as they both have been.
Absolutely.
And that's the way it should be also. Yeah. And now when they ask you, where do you take this from here, that's where the discussions happen with the international bits. Have you received compliments there? Because now you're also looking at, okay, we're the biggest in India, for sure. Now what are the global people saying when they're watching the production? You had Jim come in there as a ref who said, "My God, this is larger than life."
Yeah.
But what about the other promoters? When you were sending them stuff, what is the kind of feedback that you got?
So the kind of feedback we've got is that in terms of production, I think it's very hard for anyone to touch us now. Perhaps it's a consequence of being in India, being aware of how production works in India, and being from a film family, and we have that larger than life vision for anything that we want to do. So I think it's very difficult for any promotion, and I mean any promotion, to touch us as far as production is concerned.
I second that. I second that.
Yeah, of course, some of them, especially the UFC, since, I mean, they are the ultimate, when they have their big mega shows in Vegas or Madison Square Garden, Oh my God, that is next level.
Yeah, yeah.
But the regular shows,
Yeah.
I still believe MFN shines brighter.
And this, by the way, seconded by the UFC ref that had come down, Jim.
Yes,
he
that's
said
right,
this.
yeah.
He didn't expect it to be this.
He
big.
didn't expect it to be this. And in fact, both my daughter and I, we are very open. We welcome feedback, because that's how we're going to improve, right?
True.
So we spoke to everybody involved with the show, including you.
Yes, yes.
And we said, give us the feedback.
Yes.
What can we do to make this even better, even smoother, etc. And one of the things, so Jim said, I can't say anything right now. Give me some time to think about it and I'll get back to you. And then 10, 15 days later, he sent us a list of things and it was all minor tweaks, literally, And I was like, wow, that's in itself a huge compliment. So needless to say, we will be incorporating the tweaks that he suggested, as well as, a few of our other officials as well.
But what about the fights and all? What did the international promotions say? Do they say that now, that Adan Pradhan of fighters, Adan Pradhan of... So one of the biggest problems that you face is, and that happens when you become the leaders in a setup. Who do you fight with in your own place? Whether it's a gym, you're looking for somebody bigger. Whether it's a promotion, you're looking for something bigger.
Always.
In India, I mean, it's the truth, and I will say this, there's nobody that can really punch up with you. So unfortunately, that leaves you with only punching outside of the country. So do you think that's going to have to happen sooner rather than later?
I think everything in the world now boils down to collaboration. It's become my favorite word, and look, there's so much you can do within a certain setup. And to grow, like, for example, for our fighters to grow, we have introduced foreign fighters onto the card. Because if you don't pit yourself against the best of the world, how are you going to be able to judge where you yourself are and then grow to the next level? And the same thing goes with everything, whatever you do in life, you need competition to grow, right? The minute you settle down and say, oh, I'm the best and I'm the greatest and there's nothing more for me to do, you're
it's
done.
over.
You're done, right? So in the same sense, as far as fighters are concerned now, it's great because we have fighters reaching out to us directly from all over the world, from all other promotions as well, and coaches, managers, teams reaching out to us. So to put a card together, it's become so much easier. You know what I mean? And now we really can get to pick and choose the best. As far as the promotion itself, the growth of the promotion itself, there is a lot of collaboration invitation coming in, big promotions wanting to join hands with us. I can't disclose too much right now until contracts are signed. It's not ethical for me to do so. But it's such.
But is the ball in your court, or do you think that they're still playing a tennis match?
No, I think the ball at the moment is very firmly in our court.
That's brilliant.
Very firmly in our court. People anyway say it's not easy to do business in India. It's not about the policies, etc. Because the government is trying to make it much easier for foreign firms to come in, and it's become much simpler to do all the paperwork and all of that stuff. But in terms of personalities, we're very different from the rest of the world, and things are done in a very different way out
here.
here.
A lot of jugaad happens, let's be honest with that.
For sure, and there's nothing wrong with jugaad. I love it, but it's not possible for somebody to just walk in, even if they have a shitload of money, to come in and throw money at us and say, I'm taking over. It doesn't happen that way, And
they've got to earn their keep, so as to say.
It's not only that, but there's a different. It's not just about money with us Indians, It's about what do I say? How do I put it? It's about a way of handling us. It's a way. It involves respect. It involves love. It involves a little bit of
the good cop and the bad cop has to be played.
And it's very feeling. I feel it's a very feeling thing to do business in India.
Agreed.
So
so they're not understanding that bit.
And it's not always just about throwing the money.
No, we welcome the money.
We welcome the money, but you need to present it to us on a silver platter with a lot of extra add-ons to it. Yeah.
Has the confidence hit the roof? Because you all did it, for the both of you all.
See, in terms of personalities, we're confident people.
Yeah, true.
You know, we're not dirtpokes at all, and
But that, yeah.
not yet, not yet. That we've done it. Come on, we're pushing off to the Riviera for a month holiday. No, that hasn't come in yet. No.
You know, so like I said, she calls it as it is, and that's what I really love. Before I wrap this up, I have to ask you two things. The biggest high of the night and the biggest disappointment. Which were these two for you?
The biggest high of the night was definitely, actually it was the entire fight week, how smoothly it went, the vibe of it. Everybody was so chilled, happy, you know, it was that angst wala feeling was gone, you know. The show itself was spectacular, we all saw that. The OCD does kick in. There are still a few things that I want to change for MFN 13, and we will be doing that. So overall, the show was a high. I loved it. It was great. The crowd was incredible. Based on the new card, we're expecting double the crowd this time. So that's going to be super exciting.
We're going to have a double up security, big time.
100%, 100%. But that's fun.
Yeah, of course. Was there a disappointment?
The disappointment for me was the main event falling through. Definitely that was disappointing. I was looking forward to that fight. We had spent an incredible amount of money to build that fight. You know, there was a lot of press around it as well. And when that fell through, that was a big disappointment.
My final question, do you think safeguards should be there for promoters as well? Where your interest also, MFN has been a fighter pro promotion, but sometimes do you think back and say maybe I should have some fail-safes for us as well to protect our interests, which might look on the outside as, you know, why are they now doing this? But because of evidence to the contrary, maybe it's time?
Safeguards in terms for a title fight is very difficult actually, you know.
For the others, maybe possible?
Yes, for other fights, we now have a backup system in place as well. So yeah, that's definitely one thing. And while you're right, it's always the fighters first for us. That's been our trajectory. That's been our USP, I would say. And now I want our guys, the best of our guys, to go to the next level, as I always say. We need to safeguard the respect for MFN, I feel. You know, you can't use MFN as a gateway, so to speak. You can use it as a springboard, but always remember your roots, you know, where you came from. And I think it's nothing that I'm asking that's out of the blue. I mean, it's a rule of the universe, gratitude, you know, that will make you grow. And just be grateful. And I'm grateful for so much that the fighters give us. So a little bit of reciprocity, what's the word?
Reciprocity.
Whatever. You know, would be nice. Would be nice,
Put in such beautiful words there. Listen, it's got to be both ways. Simple. You have to do that. But I think, ma'am, this really is fantastic. We're in the right direction. And I know that this part is also an education that the fighters need to get. And when the main event was cancelled, I was aghast. I had not such beautiful words. She's put it very well. Because I just feel you don't cut the hand that feeds you and then decide to put it back on whenever you feel like it. So I think that sometimes those who are listening in as fighters as well also, and I know that I could be criticized because I'm not a fighter, agreed, but I've also been a professional athlete at a much lower level, and you never ever disrespected the system that created you also and then provided you opportunity. So I think that's very important, and we've got transparency is what everybody wanted. It's about time that respect also came from the other side. Maybe not gratitude if you don't want it, but respect for sure that, you know, you have got the platform and the ability and the space in public mindset primarily and only because of MFN. You could be fighting in a gym otherwise. Thanks so much, ma'am, for joining us. And we'll catch you again soon on MFN podcast. Remember, Disney Plus Hotstar, ये सारे episodes available हैं. Spotify, Apple, Google, सब जगह available है. Go check it out. Your feedback always welcome. And thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you soon.